Thank you for listening to The Real Deal with Damian Adams. This is Real Sports Talk for the Real Sports Fan, and I definitely appreciate all you Real Sports fans who are listening right now. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I definitely appreciate you. And if you appreciate me, go ahead and show me by giving me a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. It's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 5-star rating will definitely be appreciated. If you're listening on a 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio, we appreciate you as well. The 3-Point Conversion station is where fans' opinions matter. So we want to know what you think. If you think the show is bad, let me know so I can improve. Be considerate though. I am a gentle soul. Be constructive with your criticism. But I would appreciate criticism as much as I appreciate the praise. But if you want to praise me, don't be constructive. Just let your feelings all out. Let us know how you really feel if you love the show that much. I would appreciate it. And today I'm very excited because we're doing a bonus episode of The Real Deal with Damian Adams. And on these bonus episodes, I like to come up with different ideas on just different things we could talk about. And things that maybe you haven't ever thought about and it'll make you think as well. And when I do these bonus episodes, I like to have interesting people on who I know will come with different perspectives. And on this episode, I am joined by Kellie and Rashan from the Red Zone Live. How you doing, Kellie?
I am doing fantastic, Damian.
Thank you. I'm glad that you're on the show. Really appreciate you coming on again.
I'm always happy to be here.
Hey, what's going on, Rashan?
What's up, Damian? What's up, Kellie? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I'm just glad to have you guys back on the show. And before we get into what we're doing for the theme of the podcast, we have to talk about the football games on Sunday. I got to say congratulations to you guys. Both of you guys are avid Eagles fans, and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. And I know my man Rashan is running on fumes right now because he literally couldn't sleep last night. So I'm going to start with you, Rashan. How does it feel to be going to the Super Bowl? And what do you think about your chances going against the Patriots?
I think our chances are very well. Listen, about a little over a month ago when we lost Carson Wentz, the city was down. The fan base was down. But I think the team embraced the fact that, everybody counted them out. And I honestly believe that if Carson Wentz had to stay healthy, we would not be in this position right now because we would have took our position for granted. You see what I'm saying? I don't think those guys would have played with the passion that they played with these past 4 or 5 weeks. So I think the city is ready to explode even more so than what we did last night. I believe in Nick Foles. A couple weeks ago, I wasn't, too sure about us winning the Super Bowl, even though I thought we would make it, but I'm confident. I love what I saw out of Nick Foles yesterday. His composure. He made a couple Carson Wentz plays last night. So I'm optimistic. The defense is absolutely amazing. Listen, I think we got a great chance against Brady. And listen, this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted us to go up against the greatest quarterback of all time, and now we have it.
Okay, Kellie, how you feel about the Eagles going to Super Bowl, and how you feel about the chances against the Patriots?
I mean, I am so overcome with emotion about the entire thing. I mean, Rashan is usually the emotional one in our duo, but just from a personal standpoint as a sports fan, and then just where I am in my personal life right now, I mean, it's just the culmination of a fantastic year for me personally, a fantastic year for the Eagles. I never gave up hope that we would be able to be here. I mean, when everyone was down and out about Carson Wentz going down, I was the one screaming, Nick Foles is the guy that threw 7 touchdowns in one game. He still has it in him. He's an intelligent quarterback. He's going to find a way to get it done. Our team has just rallied behind each other, not through just one player, but as a team, as a whole, under the coaching of Doug Peterson. And it is a whole new culture in the city of Philadelphia. And we are playing to win. We are playing hungry. And it's been a fantastic ride. And you know what? I don't want the Super Bowl to get here because I don't want this season to end. I'm just in such a wonderful place. And I don't remember the last time I've ever been so happy, both with my team and both in life.
That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that everything is going well for you because you two guys are my people. So if anybody else can make it beside the Saints, I'm happy as the Eagles to see you guys happy. You know, my Saints literally gave Minnesota that game, so I'm still a little salty about that. But you saw what happened when a team that didn't deserve to get to the championship game got there. You saw what happened. They got destroyed. Game wasn't close. It shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I am happy about my Saints going forward. But for the AFC, do you guys think this was another great Brady comeback or a choke job by Jacksonville? I'm going to start with you, Kelly.
I mean, personally, I think it was a huge choke by Blake Bortles and by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, obviously their strength all season long has been their defense, but to let Brady come up on them. But that's what Brady does. I mean, he waits until you're not expecting it, and then he mounts those comebacks. And, I mean, Bill Belichick doesn't have the reputation for being the best coach in football for nothing. That's just kind of what he does. So I'm not surprised. But I'm actually pretty glad that we're going up against the Patriots. It's the epic rematch from back in the 2004 season when Donovan McNabb, he didn't choke, he threw up, and we lost it. So now it's our chance at redemption. So I couldn't be happier about it.
Donovan McNabb was the first person to take choking literally. He choked so much that he literally threw up. Like, that was epic. I remember that. People, I know that we talk about it anytime we talk about that Super Bowl. We do mention Terrell Owens. We gotta mention it again, man. For him to come back off a broken leg and play like that in that Super Bowl, the fact that it's a shame that it was in a losing effort, man. If that was in a winning effort, we would talk about it all the time. It's how epic that performance was. So let me go to you, Rashan.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So did you think it was a great comeback by the Patriots or more of a choke job by the Jacksonville Jaguars in that game?
I don't think it was neither. As Kelly know, and you too, Danny, you know I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. I think he is without a doubt the greatest quarterback of all time. But I think this was helped and aided by a few of the calls by the referees, particularly to that pass interference call along the sidelines, you know, by the referee to give the New England Patriots. I think it was like midway through the fourth quarter. They needed a touchdown or a field goal, and Brady came out and threw a deep pass along the sidelines, and it was, you know, it wasn't even close to being pass interference. The guy was there right along with the receiver. I forget receiver out there. I don't know if it was Danny Amendola. I forgot who it was, but that helped them score a touchdown. And then after that, it was all she wrote. You know, you give Brady an inch, he's going to take a mile. You know, and the refs definitely gave him that inch. You know, and you know, I think Jacksonville played inspired. They're definitely young, but they played. They wasn't scared. They wasn't scared. And I don't think they choked by any means. I just think that, you know, Tom Brady and them guys, they always have every win. Every big win is always a questionable call with the refs. So that's what I think it was. I don't think it was a choke job, and I don't think it was an epic comeback by Brady. I think it was aided by the refs.
Yeah, there were a few calls during that game that definitely had left your head scratching made you scratch your head, excuse me. There was a few non-calls on the Patriots, a few like pass interferences I thought that could have been called on them. The pass interference on the sideline, I believe it was Brandon Cooks with Bouye. That one was a little strange because I thought the ball was uncatchable. I don't think anybody's brought that point up. When the ball's uncatchable, usually they'll do a little thing where they put their hand over their head and they'll say uncatchable and they'll pick the flag up. But that part of it wasn't even brought up. It was like, okay, he forced him out of bounds. And it was a rough call. It was a rough call. And Jacksonville, I thought for the first 3 quarters played perfect. I thought they was playing a perfect game for them to win. And then it seemed in the fourth quarter they tightened up. They ran almost every first down. You knew the run was coming. And the Patriots were loading up on the run. So at this point you need Blake Bortles to do something. Or you had to trust him to do something because he was playing decent. Blake Bortles had a really good game. And he was like, the first 3 quarters, like, who is this guy making all these throws, throwing back shoulder passes and whatnot? Who is this Blake Bortles dude out here? He was balling. And I think they should have trusted him more in the second half. And they wouldn't have so many 3 and outs because it seems like in the second half, the defense was out there the whole time. And the offense wasn't able to sustain drives. So I think it was a combination of all those things that we brought up. They got the Patriots back in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. But I definitely look forward to the matchup. And before we move on to what this episode is actually about, I have to get a prediction from you guys. I'm going to start with you, Kelly. Super Bowl 52. I know who you got winning, but what's the score?
I am going with my Philadelphia Eagles are going to take it home 30-24.
Okay, your phone broke up just a little bit. You said 30-20?
30-24.
30-24. What you got, Rashan?
Well, being as though the Eagles are playing the Patriots and they beat the two teams that they beat, the last time they appeared in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, just in a different order. Last time we beat Atlanta in the NFC Championship, but we beat Minnesota in the divisional round. So I'm going to say the Eagles 24-21, the exact same score the Patriots beat us in last time. So, I think this is going to be sweet revenge, and that lower the Patriots record against the NFC East in Super Bowls to 1-3.
Oh wow, that's some really good stats and kind of deja vu-ish type stuff going on right there. I didn't realize you guys had beat the same teams going into the last one. That's good right there. So before we get into the birthday party athlete draft, Kelly, where can people listen to and find the Red Zone Live?
Well, you can listen to us live every Friday. We are unscripted, uncensored, and raw from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on blogtalkradio.com/momentumshift. You can also find us on demand at any time on our sponsor website, goingfor2.com. That's going, F-O-R, the number 2.com. And, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at The Red Zone Live.
Okay, and Rashan, where can people follow you?
Aside from the Red Zone Live, you can follow me at BabyBlack1977 on Twitter. Like I say all the time, follow, me with a warning. I definitely get into a lot of politics, anti-Trump tweets. And, I do throw a lot of sports in there, but there's a lot of politics in there. And again, I'm very, very entertaining. I will have you laughing. Because sometimes I tweet and I laugh at myself. So, I think I'm a comedian, brother.
And also, for the boxing fans out there, if you're a boxing fan, definitely follow Rashan on Twitter as well. He definitely drops some boxing knowledge. We always have good conversations whenever there's a boxing match going on. We're always, us and a few other people on Twitter, always having good boxing conversations. So I'm very excited about today's show. I got a birthday coming up. I'm getting old. I'm turning 28 on Wednesday. And they're laughing because I'm a millennial. They like to make fun of that fact that I'm a millennial. And they don't view 28 as old. But this morning I got up, my knee was hurting for no reason. I'm like, yeah, it's coming. The oldness is coming. I feel it.
You sweet summer child.
But I was thinking, what would be the dopest birthday party if you can invite 5 athletes from any time? So if you wanted to invite, say, Jim Thorpe, you can have Jim Thorpe at your birthday party. Wouldn't that be dope? So I came up with the idea to have a athlete birthday party draft. So the only rule is the athletes that we pick are very busy. They only can go to one birthday party per year for regular people like us. So if Kelly picks Jim Thorpe, I can't pick him, or Rashan can't pick him. And I'm very interested in this one because it can go so many different ways. It depends on what type of party you want. Do you want a chill vibe? Do you want it to be lit, as the young kids say? And do you want people who are going to get along? Or do you want people who aren't going to get along so you can have stories about fights at your party? There's so many different ways you can go in this scenario of your birthday party. And of course, at the end, I want you guys to vote on what birthday party would be the best one. And we're going to try to convince you of what party to go to. Last time, the vote for the best gift of sports movies was won by Rashan. I think Philadelphia stood up and voted for him because he put Rocky in his. So that's going to be my theory. That all of Philadelphia came out and flooded my Twitter for that. But so this time we're gonna go the same order. We're gonna start with Kelly, Rashan, then myself. And remember, we're picking athletes that we want at our birthday party. And it's up to you guys to decide which birthday party you would want to go to the most based on our explanation of the people at our party. So Kelly, you had the first overall pick of every athlete in history. No pressure to be at your birthday party. and explain why you want them at your party. So, who do you have with your first overall pick, Kelly?
Alright, with the first overall pick in the athlete birthday party draft, I am going with Floyd Money Mayweather. The reason there, you guys know I'm a huge fan. I think that he is larger than life. I think that he is fun. He's got style. He's got panache. And you know what? He's freaking loaded, so you know he's going to get me a fantastic birthday gift. So that's the main reason why my number one draft pick is Floyd Money Mayweather.
That's a great pick. Definitely took my first overall pick. Now, my reasons were a little different, but I would have picked, the reason I would have went with Floyd Mayweather is because he owns a few strip clubs. So, I was like, so I was thinking if I pick Floyd Mayweather, of course I could tell him bring a few ladies through, and not for nothing. I'm in a relationship, so nothing for that reason, but just to have ladies in the presence and for everybody else there. It just makes a better party when you have beautiful ladies there. And I think Floyd Mayweather definitely can bring that to the table if he's there. But you're making some great points. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I like it, but what you said, that's exactly why I thought you would pick Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Because of the girl code brand he got there. Listen, Floyd Mayweather, I don't know. Outside of, the boxing ring, I don't know if Floyd got too much of a personality that I would vibe with. You know what I mean? Because everything with him is about money. You know what I mean? You could be talking about food and he'll throw money in it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I would want to listen to that all night. But, with the girls that he got in the girl code or the girl, whatever the name of that strip club is, definitely can come with it. You know what I mean? He can just go to the other side of the club and, spend my time chatting with them.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. I think I don't know if we ever see the real Floyd. Like, I think if you get him in like a party setting and there's no cameras around, you tell everybody put their phones up, maybe you see a different side of him. That's something I would be interested in seeing as well.
Yeah.
So now it's time for your first pick, Rashan. Who are you going with?
Man, I'm going with Charles Barkley. The brown man of rebound. Listen, everywhere Charles Barkley goes is a party. He was here in Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field partying with Jeff Lurie. Then, after the game, he was outside partying with the fans. You heard the stories about when they were at the Olympics in Barcelona in 1992 with the Dream Team. They said every time you saw a large crowd, Charles Barkley was there. The crowd followed Charles Barkley. Even though Michael Jordan was like the main attraction, Charles Barkley was the party. I think he's honest. I actually went to a bar one day. Charles Barkley was here. There's a section in our city called City Line. And he was at a bar, and he bought everybody at the bar drinks. And it's just like he's just a down to earth guy. What you see is what you get. With Charles Barkley, there's no fake and there's no that's him on TV. No, him on TV is who you will meet. And I actually met him when I was younger too. So my first pick is definitely Charles Barkley.
I like that pick a lot. I think Charles would be fun at a party, and it's definitely somebody who would have a lot of stories to tell. And that's something that you would always like to have at a party, is somebody who, can tell a story. Not only can he tell a story, but he has great stories to tell. So many stories from being in the NBA and being around the NBA. And like you mentioned, you have personal experience with him, so that's a great pick. How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
Actually, Charles Barkley was going to be one of my alternate picks in case one of you guys stole one of mine, so now I don't get to use him as an alternate. But I feel like I would be able to have a great conversation with Charles Barkley. I feel like he's honest and raw, I'm honest and raw, and I think that we could just sit down and shoot the shit and have a great time. So definitely, like I said, my first alternate.
Yeah, no, that's a really good pick. I like that pick right there, Rashan. So for my first overall pick, I'm taking it back. Now, this guy in his prime was known for scoring on and off the court. Was a really big and larger than life guy, physically and presence-wise. I'm talking about the great Wilt Chamberlain. Now, the reason I picked Wilt Chamberlain is probably the same reason I would have picked Floyd Mayweather. If I tell Wilt Chamberlain... If I tell Wilt Chamberlain, hey, bring 20 women to the party, it's probably no problem for him because he has 20,000 to choose from. Legend says 20,000 women in his lifetime that he slept with is the legend. It might be impossible, but I'm not gonna let logic get in the way of a good story. 20,000 women this man had intercourse with, and imagine how many he didn't have with that he just was cool with, and was like, okay, you come to the parties, you come here. Will Chamberlain probably had so many stories about it back in his Philly days, and he was scoring all those points and being the man, and then being on the Lakers with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, and just stories from being around Hollywood at that time. I think Will Chamberlain would be a great party guest, somebody who I just love to hear stories from people who have, unfortunately he did pass away a while back, but if he was live now, he'd have so many stories, and I'm talking about him in his prime as well. I want him 1968 type Will Chamberlain coming in and having just all the girls with him, and it just make the party so much better. So Will Chamberlain is my first overall pick. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I like it. I like it, man. I don't know how tall you are, Damien, but the one problem I would have with that is standing by him taking a picture or standing next to him taking a picture. I wouldn't want to be, near his region when I'm taking a picture. You know what I mean? Because he too tall. You see what I'm saying? But other than that, the 20,000 women, hey, I don't think it's possible either, brother. I don't think it's possible. He was on Arsenio Hall that night when he said that. For all you millennials out there, it was a late night talk show host. He was African American. It wasn't Johnny Carson or David Letterman. So I like that pick very, very much. I didn't even think of that. And I'm from Philadelphia. That's crazy.
How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
Definitely would not have made my list, but I could understand from the male perspective how you might want to go there. So good choice for you fellas.
All right, so now it's time for the second round. Who is your second pick, Kelly?
Well, my second pick, I gotta go with Kyrie Irving. Even though he dissed us in Cleveland, Rashan and I both know that he has got to have the greatest green in the world to be smoking that stuff and start talking about the world is flat. So I would like to sit back, kick it at my party, get a little smoke on with Kyrie Irving, and start talking about flat Earth.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one, especially if you like to eat edibles or smoke. I think Kyrie would be somebody that you can do that with and talk about these different type of things. I got to listen to the JJ Redick podcast. He was a guest on there, and I heard that he said some crazy stuff on there, as if he was high at the time. So I need to go ahead and check that one out. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I like that pick. I like it because he's a thinker. You know what I mean? He's one of those type of people that you want to pick his brain. And the flat Earth theory, me and him will be talking about that all night long because you cannot convince me that the world is flat.
Oh, wait, what was that? What was that, Rashan?
You cannot convince me that the world...
I had you convinced the world was flat. Come on, it took 3 years, and you were questioning everything.
Kelly went somewhere else with it. You know what I mean? Maybe Kyrie Irving probably would have, but still. After talking to him, I'd have been like, man, he crazy as hell. But it would have been an interesting conversation.
Yeah, no, that's a really good pick right there, Kelly. Who you have for your second pick, Rashan?
My second pick is Dennis Rodman.
Stole one of my picks.
Dennis Rodman. Listen, man, he's been with Madonna. I forgot that. Carmen, Electra.
Yeah.
And trust me, I'm sure he would have brought them too. Now, Dennis Rodman is a weird guy. He's definitely a weird guy. I wouldn't want him showing up with a wedding dress on or makeup. But other than that, I heard he's a partier. It's this thing we have here in Philadelphia called Wing Bowl. It's this event that we originated because the Eagles wasn't making it to the Super Bowl every year, so we decided to call it a Wing Bowl. And there's a group of guys that get on, actually women too, get on stage and compete for how many, compete to see how many people or how many wings can be eaten. and it's a big event. 20,000 people come every year, and Dennis Rodman was here a couple years ago, and the crowd was crazy for it. You know what I mean? The crowd went crazy for it. He looks like a crazy gentleman to hang out with. And listen, it's a deeper side to Dennis Rodman that a lot of people don't know about too. You know, his upbringing. You know, he didn't have an ideal upbringing. You know, he had a crazy relationship with his parents, and you know, he thought about committing suicide at one point. So I would love to party with Dennis Rodman and just have a talk with him. You know, because I think he's one of the people that a lot of people don't understand. You know, I don't necessarily think he's crazy in that way. You know, I just think that he's different, and you know, a lot of people think different is crazy. So, you know, I would love to party with Dennis Rodman.
I really like that pick. And I'll tell you one thing. If you need anybody to rebound anything, you definitely got the two people at your party that will take care of that. Between Charles Barkley and Dennis Rodman.
Right?
But with Dennis Rodman, man, I think it's a really good pick because you got that wild side. You have so many stories. I've heard Steve Kerr tell so many stories about Dennis Rodman when he was on the Bulls. And that's Dennis Rodman, you know, a little later on in his career. I couldn't imagine the stories that, you know, the bad boy Pistons had and the people who played with him on the Spurs had. So, yeah, that's, you know, he's there for, like you say, he could be there for a wild time. Or if you want to talk about deep stuff, he could be there for that too. So I think that's a really, really solid pick right there. How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
I wish I had used him as my number 2 because he was going to be my number 3. But yeah, absolutely. I think that is the perfect pick. I mean, the guy is fashion forward. He is avant-garde. He is so much fun. And he was a hell of a ball player, too. So yeah, I would love to pick his brain, get a little wild, try on some crazy outfits. I think Dennis Rodman is an awesome pick.
Yes, so now it's time for me to go with my second pick, And for my second pick, I'm going to go with the GOAT. Muhammad Ali. I think that Muhammad Ali would be a great guest at a party, especially in his prime, man. Just have somebody who can talk like that, tell so many stories. You're going to have so many stories from the party that you can tell about him. Just saying so many different crazy things, and he's going to be somebody who attracts women as well. So there's going to be a theme here that you probably notice with my party, but he's going to be somebody who's going to bring women with him. He's going to have so many stories. He's going to be rhyming, rapping. He might bust a freestyle. If he was in his prime today, he'd probably busting freestyles over beats and whatnot. I think Muhammad Ali would be a perfect guest, man. You can just imagine the stories he would tell, and then like it's with him. And one thing that him and Dennis Rodman would have in common is that they probably could be there for a lit party, or if you're just having a cool, relaxed party, you just telling stories and talking about life. He would be there for that too. So I think Muhammad Ali would be a perfect party guest. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I think that pick is absolutely amazing. You know, that was the first person I thought of when I did this list. You know, I didn't pick him because I had a feeling that one of you two would pick him. I think that's an absolutely amazing picking. Listen, you'll get girls just for being with Muhammad Ali, you know? You know what I mean? So I think, listen, all the things you said about him, you know, the history behind him, all the things that he went through, his passion for everything. He had a passion for everything, life, you know, women, you know, his children, you know, he was just one of a kind, man. And I think any list that involves athletes being great or anything, Muhammad Ali always got to be the number 1 pick.
How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
Well, I don't want him at my party because it's my birthday party, and I feel like somebody like Muhammad Ali would take way too much spotlight off of me. I need to be the center of attention, and I think he would take that away.
Okay, I can feel that. I can definitely see that, because then people just forget it's your party. I definitely can understand that. It'd be like, dog, Muhammad Ali was at that party. Who party? I don't know. It was Muhammad Ali, though. So, I definitely could see that happening. So now it's time for the third round. Who is your pick, Kelly?
Well, this might make me seem like a traitor as an Eagles fan, but my third pick is Odell Beckham Jr. Every party needs a flamboyant dude. And you know, there's all those questions. Does he like men? Does he like women? I think he might like men. So we got that in common, and I think it would just be fun to sit back and be petty bitches together and maybe get some hot tub time in there. I think he would be blast. Okay.
That's an interesting pick right there. I actually had Odell Beckham as one of my alternate picks because he's always having a good time. Like, I don't know what his preference is, and I'm not going to trip about that at all. I just know he would have a good time. He'd probably be there dancing in a fishnet shirt. He'd be like, "Hey, it's Odell. That's what he does." And you would have great stories to tell from it. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I absolutely hate Odell Beckham Jr. No. I don't like his hair. First of all, I couldn't invite somebody that has hair like that. You know what I mean? I don't like the way he dressed. Like you said, he might be dancing with fishnet outfits on. I don't like, listen, man, he's always dancing. He's a good dancer. That's another reason why I wouldn't invite him, because I wouldn't want nobody to outdance me. You know what I mean? But he's a crybaby. I'd rather invite Tony Romo to my party than Odell Beckham Jr. And that's all I got to say about Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow, that's strong words right there against Odell. Like I said, I can see it on both ways because he is a really good dancer. You know, it was rumored that he was dating Zendaya for a while, so he might be somebody who might take the attention of the girls away from you. So I definitely can see that. But if he's on the other side, playing for the other team, then I can see how Kellie can be sitting there with him, chatting it up. They could be dancing together and whatnot. So I can see both sides of it on that one. Who is your third pick, Rashan?
My third pick, listen, man, I took it way back because I thought this guy was an interesting character. Josh Gibson, the great Negro League baseball player. For all of you out there, can I just throw down some of his stats real quick, Damien?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for all of you people out there that don't know Josh Gibson, I know y'all know Babe Ruth, but he was the Babe Ruth of his time. 359 batted average, 800 to 1,000 home runs. They don't know for sure because, the Negro Leagues didn't, record stats. 648 slugging percentage. He was widely considered the greatest Negro League player of all time. People consider him, called him the Black Babe Ruth, but people who saw Josh Gibson play considered Babe Ruth the white Josh Gibson. Listen, he hit 69 home runs in 1934. Babe Ruth hit 60, I think, in 1927. And, the most coveted record in all of sports, I think, is the home run record. Hank Aaron, I still believe, is the home run king. Not Barry Bonds and none of these guys that was on steroids. I think he did it the right way. 755 home runs. So he hit 755 home runs. Josh Gibson hit between 800 and 1,000. He never got a chance to play in the major leagues. He died at 35. And I heard that he was a partier like crazy. I heard he partied and drank. He had a personality. So Josh Gibson, for all of you young bucks out there that don't know about him, I'm a huge baseball fan. And I think he is one of the greatest baseball players that a lot of people don't know about. So Josh Gibson, not just for his baseball, resume, but like I said, I heard he was a fun guy to be around, a partier, always joking and stuff like that. So Josh Gibson is my third pick.
Okay, I like that pick a lot right there. Taking it back. I love how you educating the millennials out there. People that's under 27, those guys that don't know about it. But I think that's a good pick right there. How you feel about that pick, Kellie?
I mean, I didn't really know too much about the guy, so I got to give it up to Rashan. Did his homework, picked the guy that's kind of true to his heart, so I like it.
Definitely. Now it's time for my third pick. And I was a little torn on this one, but I'm going to go with somebody who is known around the New York scene. Now, he's no longer in New York, but when he was in New York, he was known for being out in the clubs. He's a former Sixth Man of the Year, now an NBA champion. He settled down now, but I'm talking about this guy in his partying prime. Hennessy in his hand, shirt off. I'm going with J.R. Smith as my third pick. I think JR, like I said, in his prime, single JR. Not now. He settled down. He's got a wife and a kid now. So, of course, that just brings you down naturally. But in his prime, man, when he was with the Knicks, all you heard about was JR out partying and whatnot. When he went to L.A., if you look, the funny thing is, if you look at his stats when he was with the Knicks and they went to play against the Lakers or the Clippers, he always had a bad game. You know why? Because he was out partying the night before in L.A. J.R. Smith J.R. Smith is a partying legend, man. My man shot his shot with Rihanna. I gotta respect that. He might not have made the shot, but a lot of people are scared to shoot that shot. And JR is gonna shoot his shot. Gotta respect that. Like I said, Hennessy in his hand. My man when they won a championship in Cleveland. My man might not have had a shirt on for a month. That's the guy you want to party with, right there. My man, he said, forget a shirt. Forget having a shirt, period. I'm just going to party with my shirt off. I'm going to go golfing with my shirt off because I'm a champion now. I don't need no shirt. That's the type of guy you need at your birthday party right there. So J.R. Smith is my third pick. You like that pick right there, Kelly?
Actually, I love it. And I was actually going back and forth whether I wanted J.R. Smith or Kyrie Irving because I didn't think it was appropriate to have both of them. And I went with Kyrie, but it was a tough choice for me. So, yeah, good one.
How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I love it, brother. I love it. I don't think he has a shirt on now. The only time you see him with shirts on is when he got to put on his shirt for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Other than that, that dude, listen, man, everything you said about him, man, he sounds fun. He was the life of the party. I think he stole, the party at the Cleveland parade. Kel would know better than me, but every video clip I saw, it was J.R. Smith. You know what I mean? So I think that's an excellent pick. I didn't even think of that.
I got about 10 pictures of him close up, no shirt on for the parade.
All right, so now it's time for the fourth round. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty, and get to some picks here where you might have to do a little research. Maybe have to dig deeper into your pockets right here. So, who is your fourth pick, Kelly?
Well, I decided to branch away from the traditional team sport, and I'm going with a swimmer bad boy, Ryan Lochte, after that whole fiasco he had down in South America with getting drunk and the robbery thing with the liquor store. And I mean, look at the guy. He looks like a total frat boy party bra with his blonde hair. He's kind of hot. I'm kind of hot. I think we could have a party.
Oh man, that's a really good pick. I did not think about Ryan Lochte, but you definitely I think that's a part that's forgotten about that story. The fact that he got in that situation is because he was partying so hard, and so I think that's a really good pick when you really think about it because he's going to bring that party atmosphere to your party. So that's a good pick right there. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I knew Kels was going to pick that one. I knew she was going to pick him. I am not surprised by this one. I knew she was going to pick him. I like it. Kels, listen, I think with me, if I party with him, I mess around and end up in jail with him. I don't want to go to a party where as though I might end up in jail at the end of the night because he going to have me doing some drunk, crazy stuff like throwing trash cans and peeing at gas stations or whatever the hell he did down there in South America. You know what I mean? He'll probably have me in a prison in a foreign country. So I think it's a great pick for a female, but not me. I'll probably get in trouble with
Definitely. I can see both sides of that. Now, Rashan, who you have for your fourth pick?
All right, man. I had to go away from the norm on this one, and I'm choose Serena Williams. I don't know how she is as a party goer. She don't even look like she have that great of a personality. Some people don't even like her, but I would just invite her just to see what she wear and just to look at her all night. You know what I mean? Just to see what she's wearing and to look at her the whole night, possibly get a dance with her. I know she's a mom now and I know she's married, but still I always think that I got a shot. You know what I mean? So Serena Williams is my fourth pick.
That's a great pick right there. Somebody that was on my list. So with Serena, the reason I would have picked her is just to get one hug. It's your birthday. She's gonna give you. You're gonna get at least one hug out of her, and that would have been good for life. I get one hug from Serena Williams, I'm good. And, and it's and like you said, just to see what she was wearing. I've seen some videos where she twerk sometimes. She's not the best twerker, but just to see her try to twerk with what she's working with would be nice. So I love that pick right there. We definitely on the same page with that one, brother. How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
There is a rule when you're a girl that you're not allowed to invite other pretty girls to your birthday party. It just doesn't happen, so no way. She is completely off my list.
Nah, I definitely.
I ain't that girl.
Yeah, that is an unwritten rule right there. That's why you usually see the pretty girl. We're not so much pretty friends around her at the club. There's a strategy to this. It's definitely not done by accident. You think she got those friends by accident? No, it definitely was a strategy. She knew what she was doing. Now, for my fourth pick, I'm gonna go with another GOAT, Michael Jordan. Now, people might be like, Michael Jordan for a party? Why would you pick Michael Jordan to go to a party? He's not known as like the best personality type guy and stuff like that. The reason I would pick Michael Jordan to be at my party is because there's going to be spades, dominoes, tonk, all the games you could think of where gambling could be involved will be at my party. And who's better to have at a party like this than somebody who's known as an epic gambler? Michael Jordan. The stories that would come out of my party with having Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan get into it over a game of spades. And I get to see that. And I get to tell people about that at my party. That's life. I'm done. I'm good. That's my story for life. People are like, what you do? I just tell my story about a time Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali got in an argument over spades in my party. Or Michael Jordan getting mad at J.R. Smith telling him to put his shirt back on. It's just so many things that can happen with Michael Jordan at my party. And plus, you get to talk to the GOAT. You know, maybe he'll be warm that day and feel like talking. You get to have so many stories from the greats of all time, Michael Jordan. So that's my number 4 pick. How you feel about that pick, Kelly?
I mean, I'm not surprised that he was picked. I figured Rashan was actually going to pick Michael Jordan, not you. But I mean, he would go. He would. He'd have a million stories, and I bet that he would be fun to talk to. He always seems so above everyone else. To see him kind of cut back and get loose in a party atmosphere, I'd like to see him get a little drunk. I would like to see Michael Jordan drunk.
Yeah, I guess Michael Jordan drunk is probably just him on 10, like talking trash, talking about everybody how good he is. He probably I don't imagine him changing. But I just imagine him being even more ratcheted up. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
I mean, I like it, but I wasn't going to pick him, though. You know, because of how intense he is. You know, for that very reason, all the stuff that you named, Damien, the gambling and stuff, I can see me gambling. And just because he's rich as I don't know what, I probably win. And he'll probably get mad, and me and him will probably end up fighting. You know, so, and I don't want that on. I don't want to remember Jordan that way. You know, so listen. I heard that. To be honest, I heard that he's a great person to party with. You know, I heard that he's a great person to party with. And like you said, Damien, picking his brain and just having Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan at your party, you don't even really have to say anything. You know what I mean? You don't really have to say anything. You know, so I mean, that's a great pick for you, but for me and him probably get in the fight.
I definitely could see that as well. I wouldn't gamble. Like I said, I wouldn't be in the gambling situation. So I would be just watching on the side when him playing spades with, some of the girls that came with Will Chamberlain or playing with Will Chamberlain, JR. And I think it would just make some great stories watching those guys play and seeing how intense it is. And also, like you said, seeing them drunk, seeing them relax a little bit and seeing that party side that people have talked about. So now it's time for our 5th round. Time for the last picks for the athlete birthday party draft. Who is your last pick, Kelly?
Well, my last pick is another notorious party boy, and that would be Johnny Football Manziel. Because, I mean, you gotta want to party with the guy that threw away his career because he likes to party. I mean, I want to try and drink him under the table, and I would end up smashed. I just want to see how much fun he has partying that he gave up an entire NFL career to do it.
Wow, that's an awesome pick. I didn't even think about Johnny Manziel, because he just hasn't been on the radar in a few years now. But that's a great pick when you think about somebody who's partying. This man was floating on a giant dolphin in a river, drinking Hennessy from the bottle at a party. Just, something wild's going to happen. You don't even have a pool at your house, and somehow you get a pool there. It's going to be because of Johnny Manziel, and he just wanted to make your party lit. So I think that's a great pick. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
Listen, that's another one. Him, Ryan Lochte. Listen, that'll be another episode, another movie of The Hangover. They'll have me knocked out, waking up in a barn somewhere the next day. Listen, I'm sure he's a great partier, but I just can't drink them. I'm not a drink anyway. You know what I mean? A wine cooler had me twisted. You know what I mean? So listen, Johnny Manziel and them boys would drink me under the bus, but again, they would have me doing crazy things. You know, I know they would. Like shrieking, running through the neighborhood butt naked. I can see him doing something like that, or trying to convince others to do something like that. I mean, listen, I'm sure he's a great partier, but not for my party. I don't think I can hang with something like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely can see that, because Johnny, I know he's trying to, get his life together and maybe play for the CFL. I think that's the last thing I heard. But the stories about him drinking, man, this guy had been drinking for a while. He was doing this, as a freshman in college. Probably even before that in high school. You imagine him in high school being the guy on campus that's going to Texas A&M and he projecting to go to the pros. He probably was drinking and getting away with it then. So this guy's tolerance has to be crazy, because he's been doing it since he was 15, 16 years old. So yeah, I can imagine him drinking everybody under the table. Yeah, that's but he'll definitely be an epic guest at a party. So I like that pick. Who is your number 5 pick, Rashan?
Well, I had to go with a millennial. You know what I mean? I had to invite a young buck, man. Because they like Odell Beckham Jr. They got all the new dances, the new saying, the new lingo, and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I had to go with my boy, the reigning Eastern Conference NBA Player of the Week, JoJo Embiid. His personality is off the hook. He seems like so much fun. He always dancing. But the one reason why I want him at my party is because he will invite all the hot African sisters. I may not understand what they're saying, but just seeing them Africans dancing around and stuff like that, listen, I'm in heaven, So Joel Embiid is my 5th and final pick. I love the kid. I think his personality is off the hook. I know he's kind of got under a few NBA players' skin, with his antics. But so what? I love him. That's what millennials do. They supposed to get on your damn nerves, ain't they?
That's what they say about us. That's what they say. We're supposed to get on your nerves. I love that pick. He was somebody who I was about to pick. Joel Embiid. Like I said, personality-wise, gonna come in there talking a bunch of trash, making jokes, funny guy, and he may get Rihanna. Rihanna told him to come back when he's an all-star. So, if he is now an all-star, he may be able to get Rihanna at your party. So that's a bonus with Joel Embiid that may happen. I definitely love that pick.
I didn't even think of that.
What about how you feel about that pick, Kelly?
I mean, if you really want to take that kind of risk, having Joel Embiid at your party, he's the kind of guy, he's going to get a few drinks in him. He's going to spill all your drinks because he's going to trip over your table, and then he's going to hurt himself, and you're going to have to stop the party and get him to the hospital.
I knew she was going there, yo.
That's the thing. I had that joke in my head, but I'm like, I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm gonna stay away from him getting hurt at the party joke.
He's playing well.
He is playing very well. Been healthy this year. Hasn't had too many problems. Maybe he's finally turned that corner on the injury prone status. But I did have a joke in my head about him playing beer pong and just going a little too hard and hurting his elbow. But nah, I love that pick a lot, though. I think that's a great pick. He'd be a great party guest. And like you said, gonna have the African sisters there with him. Could get Rihanna. Jokes. He's somebody perfect for a party. So for my 5th pick, since you took my 5th pick in Joel Embiid, this pick is just a selfish pick for me. I really don't know anything about her personality, but I've always had like this love and basketball fantasy. And the person, if I wasn't with my girl, the person I would chase if they weren't in a relationship would be Skylar Diggins. For people who aren't familiar with Skylar Diggins, she's a WNBA player. She used to play at the University of Notre Dame. Just drop dead gorgeous. And can hoop. She gets like 20 points a game, like 7 assists. She's a beast. And that adds to the attractiveness for me. If she was good looking, and garbage, that would decline a little bit for me. Like, she would go from a 10 to like a 7 if she couldn't ball. But the fact that she could ball makes her like an 11. So for my 5th pick, I'm going with Skylar Diggins. And plus, she seems like a good time. She's been on Wild and Out. I see her on Instagram dancing and laughing and having a good time. So from what I see, she looks like a good time. And she's bad, which, I mean, good looking. Gotta go with Skylar Diggins for my 5th pick. How you feel about that pick, Rashan?
Ooh, she is bad, boy. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I'm looking at her right now. She has some nice long arms too. I would love for her to put me in a headlock. Jesus, that's a great pick, brother. That's a great pick.
So, how you feel about that pick, Kelly?
Well, it sounds like this one falls under the Serena Williams clause. And on top of that, like, I mean, I'm kind of a tall girl, so I'm used to looking down at other women, so I don't know how I would feel with a pro basketball player looking up at another woman. I think that might make me feel a little uncomfortable, so I'm going to pass.
Yeah, Skylar Diggins, I believe, is 5'10", 5'11". She's not like she's a guard, so she's not the taller, she's not on the Candace Parker 6'4" level.
Got a couple inches on me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so that is our basically fantasy birthday party athlete draft. So now I'm going to recap, and you guys are going to tell why your party is the best. We're going to start with Kelly. So Kelly's first pick was Floyd Mayweather. Second pick, Kyrie Irving. Third pick was Odell Beckham Jr. Fourth pick was Ryan Lochte. And fifth pick was Johnny Football, Mr. Manziel himself. So why should people go to your birthday party over the others?
I mean, come on, look at my list. I have got nobody that's too overly pretentious, but all those people know how to have a good time. They've all got style, they've all got money, they're all going to buy special gifts. There is going to be drink, there is going to be smoke, there is going to be a good time. There's going to be music, there's going to be all sorts of dancing. I mean, I've got the funnest list. There is not a single bore on my list. My party is going to be lit.
I definitely can agree with that. Your party will be lit. It might, it might be a little too lit. It might, it might lead to the police being called. Some neighbors getting upset. But that is usually the results of a really good party. So I cannot be mad at you on that one. And you got a pretty good list there. Rashan, your party includes Charles Barkley, Dennis Rodman, Josh Gibson, Serena Williams, and Joel Embiid. Why should people go to your party?
Oh man, because I'm gonna have so many different type of groups there. You got the wild, crazy golf people. Dennis Rodman invite, along with Carmen Electra. I'm sure she'll come. You got Joel Embiid. He'll invite the African sisters. You got Charles Barkley. Listen, Charles Barkley is just crazy. He'll spend money. He'll make it rain in there. Josh Gibson. Now, I mean, you can't invite nobody from the 30s, but, I'm just saying, like, his personality and the way he was, I just think that all of my guys together, you got history, you got youth. I think it'll just make for a great crowd, a great party, and a lot of excitement.
I definitely can agree with that. I see where you're coming from with the mixture of people you have at your party. And with Dennis Rodman, you just never know what's going to happen. So that's something that you definitely, for your party, I would go to just for that. Now, for my party, I got Wilt Chamberlain, Muhammad Ali, J.R. Smith, Michael Jordan, and Skylar Diggins. Now, Wilt Chamberlain, like you mentioned, bigger than life guy. I believe he was 7'2". I'm 6'2", so I'll be okay in the picture a little bit. I'll probably just be by his chest, but the picture will be all right. For Wilt Chamberlain, he's the legend. Not only on the court, but off the court, this man scores either way. He's always getting buckets, no matter where he is. And with a guy like that, you always want to have somebody, when you have a party, especially when you're younger, there's always somebody who you say, okay, I know this guy is cool with a bunch of girls. He could bring girls to the party. And when you're younger, a lot of times that guy's just talking mess and he fails. And he only got 2 girls there because this guy promised to bring 15 and he only could get 2. And now you got to scramble to call out all the other girls to get to the party. That was my experience when I was younger. So because I had those experiences when I was younger, I know Wilt Chamberlain, I won't have to worry about that. Because Wilt Chamberlain's going to have 20 girls ready. Like, Wilt, big stilt, go ahead and bring 20 girls for me. He bringing them. They all look good. And this man gonna have all the stories in the world from the time he was playing, from living in Hollywood during those times. Just great. Number 2, Muhammad Ali. He's gonna bring girls. They're gonna come for him. So your party's gonna be set as far as ratio. You want more girls than guys. If you're a guy, you want more girls than guys at your party. It just makes it better, makes it more fun. So Muhammad Ali's gonna bring the girls. He's gonna have the stories. He's gonna talk all the trash. And like I said, I believe if he was young today, if 25-year-old Muhammad Ali was alive today, I think he would be a rapper and a boxer. And he would do it way better than Adrian Broner, who'd actually have lyrics. And I think that he would be a beast at both of them. And so Muhammad Ali, bringing the beats, bringing the rhymes, all the stories, being funny, bringing girls. Those two alone make a great party. And then I add J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith, when he was a little younger, wild dude. Hennessy in his hand. There's still memes about it today. Whenever they make memes about J.R. Smith, it's a Hennessy bottle right next to him. So a Hennessy bottle in his hand, shirt off, ready to party, pouring liquor on girls, just out there having a good time. Whenever J.R. Smith is a guy that you know you're going to have a good time with at number 3. Number 4, Michael Jordan. I'm going to have spades in my party, dominoes, tonk, maybe a little poker. And you want a guy there who you know is going to play these games seriously. You're going to have a good time with Michael Jordan and also see that competitive side. I would love to see Michael Jordan in his competitive environment and see all the stories that people tell us about him. I would love to see that in person. I think that would be great to have at the party. In 5, Skylar Diggins. For you guys who know Skylar Diggins or just see her, you know why she's there. All right? I just want a hug. Maybe a kiss on the cheek. I know she's married, so I'm not going to go too far. But just a kiss on the cheek. One hug. Just from Skylar Diggins. And I think that my party would have a perfect mixture of women, men, partying, conversation. Everything that you want from a birthday party, my party would have. So I'm going to put up a poll on my Facebook page, The Real Deal with Damian Adams. You're going to be able to vote on that poll for which party you would want to go to. Also hit me up on Twitter, or you can hit me up on Snapchat now. I finally joined that at The Real Deal WDA. Twitter, The Real Deal WDA. And Instagram at The Real Deal WDA. That's The Real Deal, W as in whiskey, D as in Delta, A as in Alpha. Before we get out of here, I want to wish you guys luck in the Super Bowl. Like I said, if anybody's gonna win it besides the Saints, I would love for the Eagles to do it, just because I'm cool with so many Eagles fans. Between you guys, Ralph, Courtney, Sean Shelby, it's like, why do I know so many Eagles fans? So I'm so I'm definitely cool with you guys and want the Eagles to win. And before we get out of here, man, tell the people where they can find the show and where they can follow you guys one more time. Let's start with you, Kelly.
Well, before we do that, Damien, we have a little Red Zone tradition. So since this is the birthday show for you, this one's coming out to you, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Real Deal. Happy birthday to you.
Woo!
Wow.
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate that right there. Kelly, multi-talented Kellie Ruttar right there, dropping the vocals for the birthday song right there. I really appreciate that.
Anyway, for more of me and Rashan bringing sexy back to sports, of course, follow us on blogtalkradio.com/Momentum Shift. Follow us on Twitter at The Red Zone Live, on Facebook, The Red Zone Live, on our sponsor website, killingfortea.com/Momentum Shift. And you can find me all over social media. My name is it's KellieRuttar.
Yes, follow her, follow the show, listen to the show. Like I said, I listen every time I can listen, man. It's a great show. They do everything. When I say they can talk about anything from, like I said, they've had conversations about, of course, sports, politics, Trump, gravity, the earth being flat. Like, literally everything. Like, epic conversations about sexy midgets. Like they talk about everything on this show, man. I'm telling you, definitely be entertained. Where can people find you and follow you, Rashan?
Well, I almost feel embarrassed to follow that, yo. Every time I hear her sing that, I feel like JFK. And listen, and he wasn't even singing it to me. He wasn't even singing it to me, brother. I can't sing. All I can do is wish you a happy birthday, man. You're a great friend to the show, man. You're a great friend of ours, and I think that the fact that you're friends with a lot of Eagles fans, I think that's telling you something, brother. I know you New Orleans to your heart. This is telling you something, brother. Seriously. But no, you can follow us, at the Red Zone Live. You can also follow me at Baby Black 1977 on Twitter. Again, very entertaining. I think I'm a great follow. I'll definitely follow you back. I love talking boxing, NBA, football. It don't matter, so come follow me. Definitely.
Yes. Thank you guys again for being on the show. Always appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes, and especially for the birthday song. I really appreciate that. Didn't expect that at all. Almost shed a little tear. Definitely appreciate that. And like I said again, man, you guys can vote on this episode if you want to go to Kellie's party, Rashan, or mine's. You probably want to go to all three, but you can't. Because all three parties are definitely going to be dope if they really happen in real life. But vote for one of the parties on the Facebook page, Real Deal with Damian Adams. I'll have that up pretty soon. But thank you guys again for supporting me. Really appreciate it. And until next time, go real or go home.